one second. Just got to kill the volume of this. Give me one second. All right. Good evening, everyone. I hope everybody is doing well. Good to see everybody in the chat. It's Friday. What a lovely, lovely day around the country, especially on the East Coast. Everybody's enjoying this wonderful weather. Hey, the sun was out though. Oh my goodness gracious. Anyway, so whew. All right. So before we jump into anything, we got obviously a lot to talk about, a lot of things going on, and I think it'll be interesting. And but before we get started, I want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to be decent in the chat, no racism, no nastiness, and let's just be decent to each other. And if you can't abide by those very simple, easy rules, those awesome people lit up in blue with the wrenches will boot you out of here because we're not going to tolerate that. All right. But boy, a lot of talk going on, a lot of speculation, of course. We're going to get into some of those things. We're going to talk about the situation within the Philippines and what's going on over there and all those fun things like that. All right. So we're going to get into all of those things. But first, I hope everybody had a good day. I had a great time getting up this morning and going and have my front end alignment done. Actually, they did it pretty quickly, so that was nice. I ended up picking up more concrete block today. So I think this week, I think I've picked up like 60 block. And it wasn't like I was going out of my way. I was going that way anyway. So it's I would rather do it that way, slow and steady. Pick up 20. It's not a ton of weight on the truck. Get it in here, get it offloaded. I don't need it right now, okay, but I obviously am going to need it. So when we start building up in the bunker, when we start doing the walls in the bunker. So, but yeah, so did that. And then, so my neighbor, I had mentioned this the other day. My neighbor had said that, he had called me. I called him. He had called me and said he was going to rent a piece of equipment, asked me what I was doing today and Saturday. And I was like, I got nothing super planned. I knew I was going to go get the alignment done this morning. I ended up calling him at like 9:30 this morning, and so he was like, "Well, yeah, no, I'm not going to be able to, do that today." He said I can bring my tractor down tomorrow with the box blade and work on that stuff on the upper area by the road that when I showed you guys when we did our walk. Um, that he can work on that with the box blade, which will be a huge help. And I hope he comes. So anyway, so Steve and I got back, and I said to Steve, I said, "Hey, I said, you feeling like doing a load of gravel?" And he goes, "How many do you want to do?" I said, "I just want to do one. That's it. Just want to do one." He's like, "Okay." So it's during the day today. It was like 22, I think, was like the high, and the winds were blowing, and the winds were really blowing. So we got up on top and we start loading up the truck, and man, that weather was brutal, brutal. But we got at it, got it done, got that load into the road. Huge difference. And he's looking, he's like, now I figured I had 4 more loads to do to finish that turn. And we did a good size load today, real good size load. And he said, "Man, we'll have like maybe 2 more loads and we'll have that done." And I said, "Well, that would, probably," I said, "I figure at least 3. I'll probably go up a little bit beyond around that turn. But then after that, guys, I'll tell you what, then it's going to be wherever is the worst is what I'm going to work on. There's a couple spots coming out of the meadow that I want to hit and stuff like that. But yeah, but anyway, so there's plenty to do, and I'm just going to get at it and do what I can. I plan on doing 2 loads tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. And we have like 3-4 days in a row. We're not supposed to have any rain. So it's an opportunity to, hopefully it's going to be drier and we can get some stuff done. So we already got what 238 in the chat. We're only at 93 thumbs up. So real quick, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do that to show support for the property, and I thank you ahead of time. Also, it makes a huge, huge difference with the algorithms. So I thank you for that reason as well. So, and then also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So, if you're not getting notifications, guys, what I would suggest, and I know YouTube plays a lot of games, we all know that, no surprise, right? Check your or your bell icon for my channel. If you may have to reset it to all again, they may have turned that off, and that's probably why you're not getting notifications. So check that out. All right. Okay. So, well, let's talk about the elephant in the room first, and we're definitely going to get into the topic of the Philippines. We're going to talk about that and the bases over there, and what's going on with that. So there is a suspected. I have to be careful what I say because I don't want to be accused of ever giving misleading or false information. Right? A suspected spy balloon over, one of our U.S. military installations. And so we're not talking about, this balloon is the size of 3 buses. So it's quite large, okay? And of course, you know, and here's what I find fascinating with this whole situation. So the government believes that it's a spy um, balloon that is way up above where commercial airliners are flying, and so that's what they believe that it is. Okay, but we're not going to shoot it down. Well, we're too concerned about it causing damages here, there, the other, dude, which is total crap because they could strategically do it so they know that when they shot it down where it would land. They already know that they could do that. So I'm not buying that excuse. Now, I'm not in charge. I'm not the one calling the shots. But my thing is, I just, if you have something over your territory, which is your airspace and stuff like that, uh, why are we allowing this to go on? Now China has acknowledged, as I talked about a little bit in my earlier video. China has acknowledged, yes, it's their balloon, but no, it's not a spy balloon. It is a weather balloon that just sadly blew off course. Oh, okay. And we're just supposed to believe that. Now, I'm not saying it is, I'm not saying it's not, okay? But China and the truth have not always been really good friends, as we all know, right? They're not always very forthright and honest about what's going on, even in their own country. But I have a problem with the fact that our weak government, okay, and that's what we are being perceived as, weak, are not doing something about this. What, are we just going to let it go ahead and take whatever pictures that it's taking and do all that? And, if it is, whatever, uh, and we're just going to let it go ahead and do its thing. I have a real problem with that. I have a real problem with that. So, you know, it's insanity. It is absolute insanity. But I just, yeah. So there's always more going on than we're being told. They've known this balloon has been up there for days, right? That's now come out that they knew that this balloon has been up there for days. But I don't know, guys. I'll tell you, I just, with the weakness that we're showing as a country, and you have the militarization buildup that China's been doing for quite a while. Those are things that need to be paid attention to. Need to be paid attention to. So, hey, Karen, can you just imagine if it had a weather balloon fly over them? Yeah, right. Yeah, if it was our balloon flying over their country, they'd be losing their minds. But yeah, it's absolutely insane. So when our plane accidentally invaded their airspace, they shot it down with humans on board and imprisoned them. Well, there you are. So yeah, there's the difference. Yeah, I just It's you know, it's over one of our, where we would launch our missiles. It's over that area. So I find that too convenient to be coincidental, I guess is the right word to say that. So yeah. Anyway, so there's obviously a lot of talk about that. Yeah, I've heard that there's more balloons as well. So again, we'll have to see what's going on. Oh, so again, let me remind everybody. I forgot to do this in the very very beginning. We're doing a giveaway again tonight of a Ron Foster book. We're going to be doing the giveaway during the egg count. Whoever gets the egg count correct is going to win this book by Ron Foster. Okay, Two Old Men, Too Old to Die. All right, so that is the book that's going to be available today. If you are interested in checking out Ron's website, JJ is going to throw the link up there. It'll show you all the books that he has available. He very graciously donated a whole bunch of books, and I'm going to continue to give them away in the live streams for the inner. There's the link right there. JJ just threw that up. Thank you, JJ. Um, so we're going to give them away until they're gone, and so we're going to go from there. All right. So definitely go check out Ron's website. And again, very very awesome of John to do, or John, let's be Ron to do that. I don't say John, but anyway, Ron Foster, guys. So thank you. All right, so that will be later on. We'll be doing that one. Balloons were used during World War II. Yeah, well, they got a lot. They're a lot more sophisticated now. Is that book about Willie Nelson and Keith Richards? Oh my God, yeah, that's actually pretty funny. I like that. But anyhow, all right, let's talk about the situation. What's going on? The obvious topic. Wow, we're going to get on topic relatively quickly tonight, right? Um, Philippines. We have just come to an agreement with the Philippines, and I want you to think about what is going on. Now, we obviously strategically looking to put ourselves in a better position to deal with what we call Chinese aggression in the South China Sea, right? And all those things that are going on. So the Philippines don't have the means to defend themselves against China. They don't. Haven't, not going to be able to. They don't have the manpower to be able to do it. So that's where we come in, right? So we had just come to an agreement with them about you, there are already existing bases, but there's four bases that Navy base walked away from the Philippines many years ago. Yeah, oh yeah, no, I know they took a lot of people out of that area, but there are four different bases that are already existing bases that are there that we're going to be utilizing. One of them is facing Taiwan, I believe, and the other three are facing China. So we're putting ourselves in a situation. So let's think. So what do we got here? We got Philippines. We are supporting Taiwan. We have Japan, and we have South Korea. Right. So we're kind of in a way, and I'm not saying that this is what we're doing, encircling China, putting ourselves in a situation where we can react if we need to. And so, but yeah, Guam, yep, exactly, Wolfang, yep. So yeah, there's a lot of chess pieces being put in place. Things are being done. If you guys remember, they are upping that marine presence in certain places over in that area. I'm trying to remember. I think it was maybe Japan. There was some new battalions or something that they're getting placed over there to be able to respond if something goes down. So I'm going to tell you what. I honestly believe that it will be a matter of time, and this is just strictly my opinion. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I don't give dates. This is going to happen at this point in time. I don't know. I'm basically speculating. Okay, but I do believe that inevitability is that we will be at war with China at some point. You have China also, as the United States is, an aging population. So we have more older people going into retirement age than we have new people being born to replace them. All right. China had done its one child policy forever and a day. and that's coming back to bite them in the behind. So those are things that just something that they got to pay attention to. My nephew is getting ready to be shipped to the Philippines. Carol Price of Prince just said that. Thank you for that information. Yeah, there's a lot more going on. We're putting the chess pieces in place. We have, quite a bit of Navy over in that area already. With all due respect, all reports have seen say the balloon is at 70,000 feet. If I am wrong, then I stand corrected, and they have the opportunity to shoot the craft down. We have weak leadership. Yeah, and I think that yes. No, you're fine. I'm not saying that it's a. So you got to understand, Russ. I'm not sitting here saying that it's a spy satellite. I'm not sitting here saying that it is a weather balloon, as China claims. China claims that it is theirs, so they are taking responsibility that it is their balloon, but they are claiming that it's a weather balloon and just got blown off course. Now, I think that that I'll take that with a grain of salt. I don't really believe anything that China has to say, you know. But yeah, so there's a lot of movement going on, a lot of things happening. Uh, Weak leaders or a secret alliance? Yeah, Jen, I hear you. You know what? It's hard to. Yeah, the balloon is 65,000 miles off course. Yeah, that's So, and China made no mention of the fact that, just so you guys know ahead of time, we do have a balloon up there, and it's off course and all those type of things. So, it's just, with all the military gear we lost in Afghanistan that has been sent to Ukraine, what are people going to fight with? Well, and that's the other thing too. We keep shipping all kinds of stuff over to Ukraine. You know, is that stuff being replaced? Are we rebuilding things? Are we giving them older equipment? Or are we giving them newer stuff? So it's yeah, that's a tough situation. But anyway, China is not happy with what's going on with us in the Philippines. They're not happy with what's going on with Japan, and they're not happy with what's going on with Taiwan, obviously. So it's a continued game that is being played, and it's just I just again, and I've said this before, folks, and I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it over and over and over again. Prep like your life depends on it, because it probably does. Put yourself in a situation to be successful, and they need to shoot it down over Alaska. Well, they need to shoot it down. Period. If it's over U.S. airspace, it needs to be shot down, and then you go from there. You know, so 80% of our military hardware is made in other countries. We've talked about, guys, for a long time the situation. So here's another thing that's going on that people are not really talking about a lot. So the U.S., of course, is exerting pressure, and I know Japan was one of the countries, and there was another one. I'm trying to remember what the other country was, about not sharing or using Chinese electronics type of chips and that type of stuff. So I know Japan was one of them, and it might have been like Sweden, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on the other one. I'd have to double check that, but I know there was two countries that have agreed to be part of whatever the U.S. is saying needs to go, and China is trying to keep those relations with those companies so they can continue to do that trade and those type of things. A lot of games being played. Okay, a lot of games being played. We are you what you have to understand. I know a lot of you that are watching are from the UK and Canada and stuff like that. We, the United States, have our fingers in way too many pies. We are trying to dictate what happens around the world, and we've done so for a long, long time. And at some point, other countries are going to go, yeah, no, I don't think so. I mean, that's a reality. That is a reality. And so when you have a country like China that has been building up militarily for a long, long time, you need to be doing something about it. You know what I mean? So uh, prepare accordingly. Again, as I always say, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. But was it FDR? Walk softly but carry a big stick. I always love that quote. I think that that's an awesome quote. You know, but Norway buying 54 new tanks from Germany. Wow. Okay. Yep. But yeah, there's a lot of crap going on, guys, and you know, we need to. Teddy Roosevelt. Okay. All right. Thank you, Okie Forge. Two more balloons are up, one over Brazil and one over northern Canada. Okay, JJ, thank you. Yeah, that's more than just a coincidence. Could that be now a delivery system, right? Could that be a delivery system? Something that's released in the air, right? Could be. Never know, you know. But yeah, like I said, just unbelievable nonsense going on, and we continue to perpetuate it. We continue to allow it to continue to happen. My thing is always this, guys, and you know, tell me if you think I'm wrong on this. I don't really care what you think, honestly. I mean, it sounds terrible to say that, but if we're going to be who we're going to be, right? My thing is this: you're going to go in and you're going to take over a territory. Let's go with Iraq is a great example, right? We go over there. We spend all kinds of money over there. We destroy everything in there. And my thing is this: if we're going to do that, take it over. Now it's ours. Who's going to do anything about it realistically, right? It's now ours. And again, and I've said this before, you cannot allow the population to engage in guerrilla tactics. So you do a scorched earth policy. If you kill one American soldier, we kill 1,000 of you. Period. And I'm going to tell you what, don't matter who. There's the village, wipe it right off the planet, right? That sounds harsh and that sounds terrible, but I guarantee you this: you would stop them from attacking American targets if you did that. You know, if we're going to do this, if we're going to be this guy, this bully, if you will, let's do it the right way. Let's take it over. Okay, we'll take over Iraq, take over the oil. It's now ours. That's it. Period. End of story. And then we can dictate where the oil's going and what's doing that and stuff like that. I'm sorry, but that's just the way that I feel. You know, why are we sacrificing our young men and women for for nothing, for nothing, to give it back, to rebuild it, to give it back into a puppet government's hands that we basically have control of, right? If we're going to go in and we're going to take these things over, we just take them over. Sorry, end of story. You're the biggest bully on the block. Who's going to stop you? All right. You expand your territory, you enhance your resources, you make your country, ours, the United States, you make it better. Now, Canada's our ally. Obviously, we get along okay with Mexico as well. Neither one of them are big enough, realistically, and I'm not trying to be a jerk saying this, but neither one of them are big enough to ever come up against us. So it's in their best interest, both Mexico and Canada, to step in line, right? I mean, and like I said, I'm not trying to be a jerk saying that. It's just a fact. Okay, it's just a fact. So if we did these type of things, yeah, we rebuilt Japan and made them a world power after World War II. Well, they're not really a world power. You know, they're not really. They're in the process though. Japan is also in the process of rebuilding their forces now, and they're our ally, right? They're our ally. So, and I have nothing against the Japanese people at all. What happened? My father went to his grave hating Japanese people, but he was in that time he was in the service at that time. So that you forge those hatreds but right now, right? So there's two enemies, right? Two, well, actually three, because you got Al Qaeda, who's still the boogeyman hiding in the corner. So he hasn't gone away, but he's still there. But remember, he's a big threat. Remember that, because they told you he's a big threat, and that's why we have to go in and go to other countries and do all that type of stuff. But you have China's our enemy and Russia's our enemy. Well, honestly, and I will tell you this: yes, I love playing Risk. I played Risk a lot when I was younger. a lot, you know. And again, I mean, Frederick, no, let's talk about this. If you control the resources that are out there, you control things. Period. Right? That's a reality. If you control the resources, you control whatever. So, but yeah, big board game when we were kids. Yep, I played Risk a lot. Love Risk. I actually, hold on a second. Do I have it in here? Actually, I'll show you guys something. Hold on 1 second. All right. You mean? Yeah, played it a lot as a kid. Absolutely loved this game. Um, yeah, you would have games, guys, that would last. Exactly. Somebody just said the games would last weeks because you'd be playing. We'd have sleepovers, and you get three, 4, 5 guys playing. A lot of fun, a lot of good times, a lot of strategy, a lot of planning and stuff like that. So, but again, you know, if you control the resources and you take no crap and you take no quarter, you cannot allow, and again, you cannot allow the indigenous population of whatever country you're taking over to do guerrilla tactics. So you put it out there for every American soldier killed in this region by anybody, we will kill 1,000 of you, and I guarantee you, it'll stop. It would stop. So I mean, it sounds harsh and it sounds horrible, but you do that a couple times, and that's the end of the story, and that would end quick, quick. So something to think about. I mean, like I said, I'm more of a hard line when it comes to that type of stuff. You're gonna play if you're gonna play these games. Any you have to understand something. Ed, I hope you're prepared enough where you are. I know lots of your preps are in New York. I'm actually, Karen. I'm in really good shape down here. I did make obviously this last year from April until the end of November. I made multiple trips back and forth to New York. Like every month, I was up in New York, and every time I came back, I brought down more supplies. And so, that is, I do have a great deal of supplies here. Yes, I have a lot more stuff still up in New York. I do, but I have been adding stuff down here, as you guys know as well, trying to put myself in a better position moving forward. So, but yeah, it's just like I said, it's I don't know. I'm more hardline. I believe you got to. Ed, does the skirting make a difference with the cold weather? Oh my God, yes. Okay, so like today, I'll tell you what the temperature is right now. I'll give you a good example, real good example. So this is probably third coldest day since I've been down here. Right now it's 18 degrees. We had last month when we did our get together, we were in the 20s during the day and we got down to 15 that night. I think we're going down to like 16 tonight or 15, something like that again. Okay. Now, then we had that one cold streak where it was really, really cold. And right now I have the temperature set at like 68 in here, and it's maintaining that very, very well. I have the plastic on the windows, and then I have the felt over the top of that. That's made a huge difference. The skirting's made a huge difference. I'm definitely. Oh, hell is tired. Yeah, she's knocked out right now. She's knocked out. She ran and ran and ran. Yeah, she's such a good dog. I mean, and that jump that she does, she'll get that going and she'll jump up and she'll like literally like brush, try like on the side of my face with her face. She's a lunatic. She's a good dog though. But yeah, it's so that's what what's going on with that. But I don't know. Like I said, if we're gonna play games, play them to win, and that's how I would do it. So I guess they wouldn't want me in charge because people would be all the tree huggers and the feel good people would not like me as a leader because I just wouldn't put up with any crap. You can't. You see, that's what people don't understand. For all of you out there that absolutely hated Trump, and that's fine. You can hate him, like him, whatever. Don't make any difference. But all the people out there that hated Trump, here's one thing that is a fact. That is a fact. That during the 4 years of Trump's presidency, we didn't have nobody screwing with us, guys. Nobody played any games. They didn't do all this crap that's going on right now with the Biden administration and dealing with the nonsense with that. They didn't do it because why? Because Trump was a loose cannon. Trump still is a loose cannon, right? But it it's just you need somebody that the rest of the world fears. They do not fear Joe Biden. They do not fear Joe Biden. I would be really curious, and I'm not saying that there is, or I'm not saying that there isn't, but I'd be really curious to see what information that China has on Biden, and I would be really curious to see what information that Ukraine has on Biden, because he is not showing strength with China at all and hasn't, right? And that's, I mean, you look at what's gone on and what's been allowed to happen, and this balloon thing is just the next line of what's going on. Some kind of explosion in the sky being said, right? Oh yeah, did they finally shoot that down, or is there something else going? Who knows? Who knows? But again, like I said, if you're going to be in a position of strength, be in a position of strength. Be proactive. Do what you got to do. Okay, and that's it. Does that mean you try to go out and be a bully? No, you don't need to try to go out and be a bully. But if somebody wants to play games, you take care of it. If you guys remember the movie with John Travolta, oh my God, I'm trying to remember the name of that movie. And oh my God, I'm trying to remember the name of that movie where he was like working for the government. Swordfish, yes, okay. I love that movie, Swordfish. You know why? Because that's how we need to be. Because he was saying to protect America, I'll do whatever I have to do. I'll sacrifice as many lives as I have to sacrifice just to make sure that America is safe. And it's a great movie, and it's a great point. And you know what? There's always what you have to understand. Okay, what you have to understand. There's always going to be collateral damage. So what is collateral damage is a really fancy name for killing women and children, right? Innocent standby people. That's what collateral damage is. Well, we got the bad guy, but yeah, we took out 20 of his relatives and children and women and old people as well. Oh well, I'm sorry. Oh well, you want to make war against us, you want to do stuff against us, you need to pay a heavy price. And that's the movie's called Swordfish. Giggles. So it's a great movie. If you get a chance, watch that movie. It is amazing. It is an amazing movie. And yep, Swordfish was the name of the movie. Yes, great movie. And I agree with what he was talking about, and that's exactly how it needs to be. We are perceived as weak. You have to understand something, folks. Let's even going back to the Korean War, right? The Korean War, Vietnam, right? Any of these situations, Afghanistan, Iraq, all four of those conflicts, we have been fighting with one hand tied behind our back. One hand tied behind our back, right? Never let loose with what we have. We got all kinds of stuff. If we really wanted to get down and get dirty, there's a whole lot we could do. A whole lot we could do. So why? Well, it's obvious why, right? I mean, let's be honest. Let's evaluate the situation. How long did Viet? How long? So somebody in the comments, please answer this question for me. How long did the Vietnam conflict go on for? How long was that conflict? How long were we in that conflict? Right? We all know that we were in Iraq and Afghanistan like 20 years, for 13 years for Vietnam. Okay, so 13 years for Vietnam, 20 years for Afghanistan, and however long, and our presence is still there in Iraq, still. Okay, so let's think about this. We have a situation that could have been over realistically. Realistically, a couple of very strategically placed bombs, right? And I'm not talking, just missiles. I'm talking about real deal stuff. Situations could have been over in explosion over Montana. Okay, thank you. We'll have to look and see. Um, that situation could have been over in days. Days. Any one of them. Any one of them could have been over in days. Strategically placed bombs. You get rid of those people. You go in. You set up camp. And again, you have a perimeter. Here's our perimeter. Anybody, first of all, anybody that comes in that perimeter, 2 mile, 3 mile, 4 mile, 5 mile buffer zone. If you come in that buffer zone, we're going to kill you. Period. End of story. No questions asked, no second chances, none of that stuff, right? You do that, that's it. You say, the green zones, right? But if you make sure that they're safe, then you ain't got to worry about it. But why don't we? Why don't we do that? Why do we fight these drawn out long engagements? Let's think about this. If we're at war for 30 days, or if we're at war for 20 years, who benefits? Who benefits? Oh, big business? Is it big business benefits and makes a crap ton of money? We don't care about all the soldiers that go over there and are killed and maimed and mentally never right again when they come home after being in conflict, right? We don't care about them. Screw them. They're going to kill themselves off at a rate of 22 a day by suicide when they come home. That we know, right? We know that for a fact. 22 veterans per day, combat veterans, are committing suicide every single day. And I want you to think about that. All right. I want you to think about that. When we could take care of these situations rather quickly, get it taken care of, but, Boeing ain't going to make no money if they can't keep making all kinds of machinery and equipment. Philip Drummond, all those big war machine companies, they're not going to make any money. So we got to keep these engagements going long, 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 long time. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, and it's ridiculous. So here we are fighting these wars with one hand behind our back. Again, here's if I'm in charge, right? Here's the line. If you're on this side of the line, you're the good guys. If you're on that side of the line, you're the enemy. And we start here and we continue to work down and we just destroy everything in our path. Everything. Scorcher's policy, folks. It worked during the Civil War, if you remember correctly, right? Who remembers that? It was done in the Civil War. Burned everything in the path, killed everything in the path, every animal, every person, everything. Scorched earth. You do that, you put the fear of God into people, and they will not screw with you. Think about it. Just think about it. And you know what? You may be like, oh my God, you're a lunatic. I can't believe you would think like that. But why? Why should we sacrifice our young men and women for the war machine, for oil, and everything else like that? You know? Why should we do that? We shouldn't. Yeah, Genghis Khan, exactly. He was the most feared person in that time. Most feared person in that time. Alexander the Great, the way he did things, it was smart too, obviously. But I mean, he had conquered what, most of the known world at a very young age. So it's all about, at the end of the day, it's always about money. Always about money. So don't be fooled. Don't be fooled to think, oh, well, we're America and we're the good guys and we really want to help people. We don't. We don't care. We don't care about them. You think we give a crap about some dude living in a hut up on a mountain with his goats? You think we care about those people? We don't care about those people. What we care about in Afghanistan is, number one, how many minerals we can pull out of the ground over there, what we can use. 15,000 Marines in the Korean War left to walk home, left to die. It's nuts. That whole situation is nuts. When it could have been taken care of. Oh, well, I didn't want to mention the poppies, Okie Forge. Yeah, you got to keep the heroin flowing. Where was it that I just saw? I just saw this. God, I can't remember. I'm trying to remember. what state it was saying you can have. They're trying to pass a law. It might have been California. I'm not even sure, but they were saying that you could have as 2.5 grams of heroin, cocaine, and all this other stuff. You would be allowed to have that much on you at any one time. I mean, it's just insanity. It's insanity. Oregon, was it Oregon or okay? So Okie Ford is saying Washington. Sounds like Oregon, probably Oregon, Oregon and Washington. JJ's saying, but it's just that's nuts. So here's the thing. Let's be honest, all right? Let's be honest. How many mass shootings have you seen from the person that went out and got stoned out of their mind, smoking weed, and then went out and got whatever they're using and gone and shot up any place? How many of those events have happened? Oh, I think I can tell you. Yeah, Jen Boyles just put it out there. Zero, none. You know why? Because if you get stoned, the only thing you give a crap about is two things: taking a nap and getting something to eat. That's it. All right, that's it. But now, crack cocaine, heroin, methamphetamines, you know, regular cocaine, because we know we got to make sure we do the distinction. A lot of people die over that. A lot of people get wired out and then they go off. They're up for 4 or 5 days because they're all methed out and then they're going off. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. But not because of weed. Ed, I've never seen a mean person stone. Never. Yeah, no, they're not, because they're not. They're chill. Ed, what's your take on the China spy balloon? Like I said, again, I'm not saying it is a spy balloon. I'm not saying it's not a weather balloon as China claims. But what I am saying is this: it is over our airspace. It's going over our, military bases where we are housing our nuclear arsenal. It's got to be gone. It's got to be gone. Period. It gets shot down. That's my thing. Get shot down. So, but that's my take on it. I don't believe a man here in Seattle raped 7 women. I think he was given 10 months in jail. That's ridiculous, Robert. I got a sentence for somebody like that. I got a sentence. Again, see, I have cures, folks. I have cures. I have cures for rapists. I have cures for pedophiles, and I will guarantee 100% they'll never do it again. Never do it again. Trump says they shut it down. Well, I think there was pressure, that they need to do something, show some kind of strength. But the cure is a rock pile. No, nope. It's a 22 right here. Nice soft spot in the base of your neck, up into your brain pan. And, lo and behold, they'll never touch another child. They'll never rape another woman. Because let's be realistic. Rape is not about sex. Rape is not about sex. It's about power and control. And somebody that would do that to somebody else, and basically, ruin that person for the rest of their lives, realistically, that can't be allowed to happen. And people that hurt children, they're they need to be dealt with swiftly, strongly. No more of this mollycoddling. If you're going to put him in prison, put him in with a gen pop. Don't put him in protective custody, because the other prisoners will take care of them. They will. They'll be done. Period. End of story. End of story. And when they go into jail, make sure that you let everybody know right off the bat. This guy's a child molester. He was banging 8, 9, 10-year old. Let them know. Let them. And these are people. And I'm not talking hearsay. I'm not talking about the 18-year-old kid that was banging his 16-year-old girlfriend. I'm not talking about that. And then mom and dad got mad and decided to press charges. And now he is a sex offender and he had to go to prison. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about 30, 40, 50-year-old men sleeping with 5, 6, 7-year-old children, or, under 12, under 13, whatever the case may be. That's what I'm talking about. Those people. One cure only, and it ends, and they don't ever do it again. And it's like, if they are caught, with the DNA or however, they should be just taken care of. Period. End of story. Murderers that, especially premeditated murder where it was planned out. What did they do to McVeigh? Right? Remember him? Oklahoma bombing killed him. So why are we keeping these people around on death row forever and ever and ever, and 20 years later? And then you had the one that was on death row, and this kills me too. And I'm sorry, I don't care where you stand on this. It doesn't make any difference. So you're in prison, you're on death row because you murdered somebody, and all of a sudden now you've decided you're going to transition, and the prison system is paying for you to transition. And then there's the big hullabaloo about, oh, the first transgendered person put to death on death row. Well, guess what? While you were still a man, you killed somebody. You shouldn't be sitting around on death row for 20 years, eating, breathing, and doing all those things. If the proof is there, it's just like that kid that killed those people in Colorado. His DNA was all over the place. They got it. You know what I mean? And they've got all kinds of proof. As soon as you have all that hardcore concrete evidence, and I'm talking DNA evidence, not hearsay, not speculation, not profiling, DNA proof that somebody did something like that, like rape, murder, molestation, done. Period. End of story. No more games. We got to stop. We got to stop playing these games. We need to be more hardline. In China, if you get caught stealing, you know what they'll do to you? They'll cut your hand off. Guess what? They don't have a lot of stealing in China. If you are a narcotics mover, if you're moving meth and crack and cocaine and all that type of stuff in China, they kill you. Period. End of story. This is weird how it works, man. I'm telling you. But I guess what? Crime ain't like it is here. You know. Oh yeah, we're past egg count time. I'm sorry. I got it. I see you guys got me up on my soapbox. I just, like I said, I just, certain things really bother me. Okay. But if there is 100% certainty, no shadow of a doubt, no way to say, that this is not the guy, and they know that they did it, why are we wasting years and years of time incarcerating them and that type of stuff? That's what bothers me. Okay, so we'll do this when I start. Don't start putting guesses up there because I'm not counting them until I say go. Okay, just putting it out there. So any guess that you make, and if it was correct, well, I put my guess up and it was correct. Until I say go, we're not doing it. All right. So, giving this book away by Ron Foster, Two Old Men, Too Old to Die. That is the winner of the egg count. We'll get that book today. All right. So, let us. Oh, you will send me your information to preppernurse1@yahoo.com, and I will get these out. So, anyway, now do the egg count. So, where's your guess? What is your guesses tonight, folks? And we will go from there. We will go from there, and we will. So I'll give you guys a minute to get your guesses, and I'm going to take a drink of green tea. Cold, cold day up in New York too. Becky was telling me it's quite chilly up there today. All right. If you had the same exact guess as Comet Moon, Comet Moon with one egg and no thick neck, then you are 100% correct. So Comet Moon is the winner. I hope that's the right way to say that. And with one egg and no thick neck today. So congratulations to Comet Moon. You are the winner. Make sure that you send me your information. Again, preppernurse1@yahoo.com. And no, Heather hasn't been selling. She hasn't been doing crafts strictly because she's been working a lot more now, and so she's just kind of focusing on doing that. and taking care of things that way. So hubby and I just fed neighbor's dog. He's been out roaming for days. We gave him a plastic bowl and water. He seemed very grateful. Yeah, I'm going to tell you what. I have a really, really hard time with people that don't take care of their animals. You know, making sure if it's cold outside, they're inside. It's like right now, okay, it's cold outside. Where's Hella? Hella is right there at the end of my bed in her bed because I went out and I bought her a bed so she didn't have to sleep on the floor. So she is in her bed sleeping right now. If I am outside, the dog is with me generally. And, like when I'm doing the gravel, I can't have her with me. So I put her in her run, her cage, if you will. It has straw in there. It also has the igloo doghouse in there as well. So when the weather is like it is today, she can get in there and get out of the weather. So it's not like she's just out in a run freezing her butt off. I don't get, you want to have animals. Well, you need to be responsible. That's kind of where I'm at with it. You need to be responsible. And that don't mean, folks, that don't mean every second of the day you're running off to the vet, making the vet rich because they're going to come up with some new kind of thing that you need to do with your dog, right? Or your cat. Cats and dogs have been around for a long, long time. Vets have not been. Vets have not been. Now, don't get me wrong, vets have their place, and that's great, and they can be very, very helpful. But explosion in the sky over Billings, Montana just happened. All right, I'll have to look and see what that's all about. It probably, I would hope, with enough pressure exerted on them, that they probably shot that stupid thing down, which should have happened days ago. So here's the question. Okay, if they finally shot down that balloon, right? How much information was already relayed back to China between the time they first knew it was there and it was in our airspace and now? How much information was already shipped back to China with communications? I'm curious about that. But I don't know where it ended up, Angela. I have no idea. So people are just saying in the chat that it was shot down. I don't know if it was shot down or not shot down. So yeah, I just like I said, my animals. Up in New York, the cats are indoor outdoor cats. But when it's cold out, guess where those cats are at? They're in the house. They're in the house because they're like, screw that. I'm not gonna be. If it's nice out, they want to be out at night. They want to be doing their thing. But when the weather's cold, they want to be in, and they should be. They should be in. But oh, the question was from Mob. Okay, sorry. All right, no problem. You guys are chatting amongst yourself in the chat. I gotcha. I just see things pop up. I'm like, what do you want? So I don't know idea. But Michigan Lifestyle said I don't see any breaking news about it. Well, yeah, again. So I'm gonna tell you what. I've always taken care of my animals. I love my animals. I want to make sure that they have a good life, that they're well taken care of, and so that's kind of how. If you're gonna have them, treat them right. Treat them right. So I will tell you guys this. I've already talked with Heather. When I do go up in the spring up to New York and make a trip up to New York, I will be bringing Socks back with me here to West Virginia. So Socks will be coming down here, and she will be living out the remainder of her days with me down here in West Virginia. So she's such a good cat. She is such a, and in that way she can be the queen bee, and there's no other cats, and she don't have to deal with anything like that. And that's what she likes. She wants that undivided attention. But but yeah, the only problem with the dog is never trust when to watch her food. Oh, they're gonna watch it, and when you turn around, they're gonna eat it. So, but yeah, I miss Max too, Angela. I love Max. Max is my boy, but he does not travel well. When we moved from Rochester to our homestead, which was an hour away, he freaked out, and that was what 9 years ago. So, he's comfortable where he's at. He's in bed with Heather every night now. And so, yeah, but he's a good cat too. No, I miss my Maxie. I do. Have to keep an eye out for coyotes. They love cats. No, I hear you. Well, Soxy's more of a let me stay in the house kind of cat anyway. So I had a dog once that would steal my coffee if I didn't watch him. Wow, that's funny. Yeah, they're so unique. Each animal, especially dogs, they're so unique. They have their own personalities, and she's awesome. Very vocal, a really good dog. I've been very very fortunate with her. Very very fortunate. And I had a dog steal Mountain Dew. That's funny. But yeah, she's a great companion. I can't. I have no complaints. She is. If I have a day and I'm having a bad day and I sleep in, really sleep in, she'll wait. And then as soon as she hears me stir, that's on. Then it is on. So, but, and then of course, if you're eating something, she wants part of it. So, but no, and think about it, she's protection like you would not believe as well. So I definitely don't have to worry. That dog would give her life for me. So that I know without a doubt. I mean, she's such a good dog. So spoiled, yes. So I can throw my son's motorcycling channel's name out. Yeah, go right ahead, Chase. Go ahead, throw it out there. That's fine. Not a problem. Thank you for asking ahead of time. No. Yeah, yeah. Coyotes would not last. See, there's an open thing with coyotes. If you see a coyote, you're allowed to shoot it. So coyotes would not do well here. Right now, I don't have any livestock that they would want to go after, and I was reading a thing. And I thought this was amazing. And the guy had a pit bull, good sized pit bull, and he come home from work, and the dog was just all kinds of torn up, cuts, scratches everywhere. You can tell it had been in some kind of battle. So we took the dog to the vet, got it all stitched up, got it all taken care of, and then they were like, "Well, what happened?" He goes, "I have no idea." And so what he did is he followed his own dog's blood trail up into the woods, and he found that one dog, that one pit bull, had killed 9 coyotes. 9. So I thought that was amazing. Um, you know, well, wolves are a whole different. Yeah, wolves kill hunting dogs in Norway. Viking Prepper said, wolves are a whole different animal. That's a whole different animal. Uh, they uh, they are no joke. But per bite, a pit bull has the strongest bite and grip, and if it gets a hold of something, that's it, game over. Like I said, I love my German shepherds. I love my Rottweilers. Danny, one of the guys in my group, Rottweiler, and he said he's going to bring it down here, and I can keep it here. I would love that. Love that. He showed a picture in our group chat tonight with him sitting on a couch with this little bitty, baby Rottweiler puppy on his lap. I've had Rottweilers, as an adult, and I love those dogs. They're awesome dogs. But my favorite, I definitely German Shepherds. I love German Shepherds. So first time I saw a coyote, I thought it was a skinny dog. Wow, yeah. Yeah, so Dan, if you want to bring that Rottweiler puppy down here and keep that dog here, yeah, that would be fine. You better bring that puppy with you when you guys come down this next weekend. I definitely want to see that pup. But anyway, so that's where we're at with that. But yeah, animals are. My rot may not like Hella. Oh, I got to tell you guys what happened. Oh my God, this was something else. So Everybody here in the chat knows who Jerry Lee is. Jerry Lee is the other German Shepherd, smaller than Hella, and they're like buddies. Well, is it yesterday? Yeah, I believe it was yesterday. I went and took a walk yesterday, and when I take my walk, I go right past where Jerry Lee lives, and they got a bunch of dogs, there. And so when we walked by the first time, no dogs were outside. When we came back through, they had let the dogs out. So here comes Jerry Lee running to greet Hella. One of their other dogs, which was a smaller, and I don't want to say an ankle biter, but it's a smaller dog, come out there thinking he was a tough guy. Okay. Hella was like, oh no. She made a beeline for that dog. I had to call her off. That dog put his tail between his legs and was running for his life and went right on his back. And, like I said, that's when, and Hella didn't attack the dog, but she was letting that dog know, no, you are not the one. And so I'm like, Hella, get over here. And then Jerry Lee joined us for the rest of our walk. And so, yeah, that was fun. But, yeah, so that's, that was all part of that. All right, let me see here. But yeah, I was like, oh my God, I can't have my dog going after somebody's dog. But the dog, in Hella's defense, the dog came at her first. So, but yeah, so I mean, I don't leash her when we're walking. Oh yeah, she's showing dominant. Hella is definitely an alpha female type of dog. You know, she's not going to. Well, like now in New York with the three dogs, Hella was a puppy growing up with Caesar and Pandora. Pandora is an alpha dog. She was the smallest of our three dogs, but she is definitely an alpha dog. So, all right, we're gonna do shout outs right now. But yeah, so but when we walk, I let her roam and do her thing, and so we always have good walks, and I don't know, I like doing it. So all right, so shout out time. We're gonna start out with Icky Can up in Canada. A real good guy. Definitely check him out. I'm sure he's pretty chilly tonight up there with that cold front coming down through. You have Angry Prepper with Jason in New York City. There is Alaska Prepper, and that's Rudy up in Alaska. You have Alaska Granny. There is Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance, two different channels. Same guy doing his build up in Canada. Really, really cool to watch that. You have Demcad, another really good guy. Definitely check him out as well. There is Corporal's Corner. There is Bjorn Hansen. You have 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. There is Bizarriza Jizza, who's also in New York, that does the Carrington Chronicles. And he is really good with that storytelling. So definitely check him out as well. You have Marfugal News with Adam and Dax out on the West Coast in Seattle, doing their thing out there. And definitely check them out as well. Good guys. Let's see, where was I here? You have Magic Prepper in North Dakota. There is Wrangle Star. That is Cody. Another really good channel. Good guy. Uh, Pretty big. He's over 500,000 subscribers, something like that. He's got a lot. There is Red Poppy Ranch. Survival Lily. You have Kyle's Cabin with Kyle and Sierra up in Minnesota doing their thing up there. There is Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods. Husband wife team, two different channels. She had her channel going first, and then he did a channel later. They split their time between Michigan and Alaska. You have Green Greg's, really good guy, very down to earth. Check him out as well. There is Southern Prepper 1, giving you all the boots on the ground information. So definitely check him out. There is Gray Man Prepping. You have, excuse me, St. Bernard Acres with Joe. I'm choking on something here. All right. You have Doug and Stacy, another really good channel. Definitely check them out as well. The Nomadic Movement down in Panama, a nice young couple down there doing their thing. They just had a baby. It's probably almost a year old now, I think. You have the Green Dream Project, which is out in Arizona. So definitely check them out as well. You have Camping with Steve Wallace, doing stealth camping. It's just fun to watch. He does his thing out there. He's a real good guy. Bush Doctor Survival. There is Monkey Works. The Needy Homesteader, another really good channel, a lot of good information there. You have Boss of the Swamp. He's been around a long time. A lot of good information with his channel as well. You have Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Really great channel. Very smart guy. Rankle Star has 2.25 million subscribers. I guess I'm a little off on Dust Devil. Okay, so he's a lot bigger than I thought. So maybe when I started watching him, he maybe had a 500,000. I don't know. He's got quite a bit. Gets a lot of hate too. You notice that? Imagine that. God, I can't. And boy, YouTube is like so stringent. I don't know how that happens. Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. There is City Prepper. You have Lumina Acres, Suspicious Observer. There is Bear Independent, The Uneducated Economist. You have Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands of La Palma, so definitely check him out as well. There is Mary Greeley News. She's giving you all the latest updates of what's happening with Yellowstone and everything else, earthquake or volcanic related. There is Adapt 2030. You have Malachi's Corner, Ice Age Farmer. If you're going to get your weather, you better get your weather from one guy, and that guy's name is Ryan Hall Y'all. Really good guy, very down to earth, gives back to the community hugely. A lot of respect for him. You have Russell Brand. I love Russell Brand. Russell Brand gives you the information. You can either take it or not take it. He doesn't tell you how to think, and I like that about that. He just gives you the information, lets you actually make your own decisions. Deep South Homestead. You have The Outsider, The Fit Farmer. There is Prep Rebel, Simple Life Reclaimed, Townsend's. You have The Prepared Mind. There is Pinball Preparedness, who is in Tennessee. Uh, let's see. You have East Tennessee Preparedness, The Economic Ninja, and last but not least, Little House Off Gritty. Now, there's a lot of other channels. I'm sure a lot of you have your channels that you like, that are your favorites, and so that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I can't mention every single one out here, so I'm not even going to ever try to do that. But there's a lot of good information. Yeah, I actually they let me get back over 107K again, so that was nice. I actually it's weird, guys, because I got my notification. I saw a post that I had posted on Facebook. This was like 2 days ago. It said, they'll share a memory, and they'll say, do you want to, share this or show it again? And what it was when I hit 100,000 subscribers, which was a year ago, probably a couple days ago. All right. So then it continued to go up until about June of last year. And then from June, they started slowly eroding my subscribers, brought me back down under 107,000, and then just recently let me get back over 107,000 again. Just a lot of games being played, shadow banning, removing, subscribers. The number of people that have told me that they have been removed, and they did not do it. And I never pursued the plaque thing. I want the plaque. I should be emailing somebody and say, hey, you know what? It's been a year. Where's my plaque? I probably should, because I earned it, so I should probably be, have it. So I see you've been pulling heavy stuff off your truck. Please into a load handler. Just crank it off the truck. That works great if you got a light load. The amount of stone that I'm putting on the back of the truck, that fabric roll off stuff won't work. Too much weight. So it's great in theory if you have a lighter load, but if you're putting a decent amount of stone on there, that type of thing is not going to work. But I appreciate people saying that. I do. And so I want to talk about something before we go on. Okay, there is a lot of people are talking about the road, and they're talking about, we'll put the fabric down first, or otherwise stone. There's like a grading metal fabric that you could put down first, and then you put your stone up on top of that, and it'll help it so that it doesn't sink. It's really expensive. I don't have the money for that. Uh, I am going by what my gravel guy is telling me. He's a local down here. He's been down here his whole life. He says you got to build up the base and it'll sink down up to a degree, right? It'll sink down to a degree. Ed, are you lining this drive with bags of concrete? I did in that one section. I put 32 bags of quickcrete into that one section. And so, yes, I did in that one section. I did. Not there's other spots that maybe I could use some of that, but not really a whole bunch. A lot of it I just got to put in the tracks. Is get the gravel in the tracks. Will it sink down to some point? Yes, it will. Okay, it'll settle. But eventually, what we have here, where I'm at, guys. Okay, now there's clay, and then there's the clay down here. And I know people, oh, clay's unsteady and the bunker's going to collapse and all this stuff. Trust me, it ain't going anywhere. We have this clay is it's like concrete. So what's going to end up happening? It'll sink through the mud and crap like that, hit that clay, and then it's going to stop. So you have to build the base up. Coming out of the out of the woods in the upper meadow and down here into the lower meadow. Yeah, clay from hell. Exactly, Mac. Mac knows. He's been here. He knows how it is. Um, it's brutal. It's brutal. And what we're putting in a road, which was just strictly open fields. So, basically, now all of a sudden I'm living here full time. So I'm driving in and out on a regular basis. Um, did I make mistakes last year by putting crush and running and thinking that was going to do the job? Yep, sure did. Not going to deny it. Absolutely screwed up, made a mistake. Okay. I would love to put the road fabric down first. Can't afford it. But my gravel guy said, we get the bigger stone in. We're putting the number 2 stone in now. Okay. Put that down, get a base down. Once that base is down, it'll sink in a little bit over time. Absolutely. Yes, it will. We'll continue to have to add on as we go, but we got to get that initial base in. At some point, it will stabilize, and then we'll just, we'll do eventually crush and run over the top of the number 2. So right now, I'm trying to get the road where it's passable enough that I can drive in and out of here. And no, it's not good enough to make clay pots. Actually, Angry Pepper tried to do something like that. I'm sure if we had a kiln, we might be able to do something like that. Awesome sauce. But he tried to do it a little bit, but it just dried out and it hardened. And yeah, I think the clay is harder than Quickcrete. Yeah, it is definitely rock hard, especially when you're digging through it. So, but we're dealing with it. We're going to take care of what we're going to take care of, and we're going to go from there. That's all we can do. And, over time, we will get it. And yeah, is it going to cost a lot of money? It sure is. Yep, we're creating the base layer for the road. Yep. And we'll add as we go along in the process. Exactly, Angela. Everybody's got great ideas and got great advice, and I do appreciate it. And I love the people that say, oh, don't bother. He doesn't listen to anything. He's stubborn. He's going to do it his way. I'm not trying to do it my way. I'm not trying. And the people say, oh, well, he's just doing it good enough. I'm not trying to do it good enough. Trust me. I don't want to keep sinking all kinds of money into this road. Did I make a mistake thinking that the crush and run would work? I did. Okay. Live and learn. I learned my lesson. Ain't doing it again. We're going with the bigger stone. We're doing what we have to do. It will come together. We're going to get it done. Is it going to take time? Yep. But guess what? That first turn coming in out of where my property starts, um, you know, that first turn there, that's way, way better shape now. And we'll continue to work on that. That area probably would be one of the areas that we'll end up having to add more stone. People talk about, oh, you got to have runoff through the woods. What we have, guys, is we have a hill here coming up this way. We have the road, and then we have another part of the hill going down. All right. It runs off. I just got to put a couple little swales in there where the water's collecting on the road itself, that it has a place to drain off. And we're going to get there. That's just how that's going to be. It's going to take time, and So I read every comment. So don't think I don't read your comments. I don't always respond to every comment. I'm trying to be more proactive with answering some comments, but I do listen to you guys. But that road fabric, trying to get that first and then trying to put the stone down, is too expensive. It just is. So in the clay, believe me, it's not a huge base of in the woods. It's the mud in, like, in the lower meadow here. You got about that much, maybe that much dirt, and then it all turns to clay. So depending on where you are in the meadow. So we're gonna keep making the good fight. We're gonna do what we got. Yeah, Rome wasn't built in a day, exactly. And I'm trying to carve something out of raw land, out here in the middle of nowhere, which I love. So we'll get there. We'll get there. But anyway, we are Legion because we are many. We're all over the country. We're all over the world. Where is everybody from tonight? So I'll just keep talking and talking and talking. That's what I do. We got Rhonda in Dayton, Ohio, New Mexico with Nate, BC, Canada with Janet, Inverness, Florida with Clyde in the house, Sharon in Waterloo, New York, Nowhere, Oklahoma with Okie Forge, greetings from Syracuse, New York, Franklin County, Ohio, Tucson, Arizona. We have Connecticut in the house, Hillsboro, Oregon, Missouri in the Ozarks with Delbert, Gatlin, Pennsylvania, Fayetteville, North Carolina with Carol, Memphis, Tennessee. Let's see. We have Texas, Troutman, North Carolina with Troy, Billingham, Washington, the beautiful Pennsylvania Wilds, Palm Beach or Palm Bay, Florida. Ohio's in the house, Wisconsin, Greenlee County, Arizona, Verone, BC, Canada with Gypsy Mama, Western New York, Northeast Indiana with Sharon, Central Pennsylvania with Jen. We have Florida with Firefly, the Catskills, very nice. Chatham, Ontario, Canada with Sean, Blue Ridge Mountains of West Virginia, or I'm sorry, Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, my bad. West Central Ohio with Dale, West Virginia with Morning Light, Loveland, Colorado. We have Texas in the house with Dust Devil, Aaron, Tennessee with Jay, Bellevue, Nebraska with Deborah, Soil's sister. I like that name. Birdsboro, Pennsylvania, St. Augustine, Florida with Diane. We have Melrose, Florida. Uh, Carbina, Australia's in the house with Lee. Glad to have you here. Tennessee. We have Cape Cod, Massachusetts in the house as well. Fort Worth, Texas with Sonia. How'd you guys make out down there, Sonia, with that ice storm and stuff? Edgewater, Florida with Judy. But again, yeah, we're all over the world, guys. We're all over the country. We're a huge network of people. So anyway, we have Bumstead, Florida with Frederick. I want to thank my moderators who do a fantastic job keeping the chat clean always. Thank you. Appreciate what you guys do. Really does make a big difference. We have Irwin, Pennsylvania, Belfort, North Carolina with James. So also, I want to thank all you guys for being here, because without you guys here, then I would not be here. So I do appreciate the support as well. It's a lot of fun. I do enjoy these chats. There's always more. Yeah, no Philip tonight. No, I know. I hope he's okay. But anyhow, also remember, folks, we truly are all in this together. Oh, I had somebody. I got to tell you this one. So, and I did remove the comment. Just so you know. So when I say we are all in this together, right? I say that because I believe that we are one race called the human race. So somebody said to me, spoken like a true communist. I'm a communist because I believe that we're in it together, that we should work together, that we should try to help each other. Well, if that's what communism is, and I'm all in, brothers and sisters, I'll tell you what, but I don't believe that's called communism. I think that's called being respectful of your fellow man and treating people the way that you want to be treated. That's just my take. I don't know. I could be wrong. But so when I say that, that's what I mean. There is a huge division line that is used constantly against us. And they use race, they use religion, they use political affiliation, and they use the vaxxed and the unvaxxed. They're all tools used to keep us fighting against each other, so we will never focus on the real problem, which is big business and the government that want complete and total control, right? Complete and total control. Yeah, that has nothing to do with communism. Exactly. It's about community. Exactly. And I just like, I'm like, whatever, you know? Yeah, it's just, and it's, I like when people tell me also with what I'm doing, I'm making commune. No, I'm not. I'm not making a commune. I'm putting together like minded people that want to work together, that want to support each other when the time comes, when things go sideways, that they have people that they know that are going to have their back. It ain't about a commune. We're not a bunch of tree huggers down here. Okay. Do I want to be green? Yes. But I have selfish reasons for wanting to be green because I want to be independent. I want to be in control of my own destiny and not have some company say, well, you haven't paid your electric bill, so we're shutting you off. And as soon as they shut you off, then the town comes in behind them because they're in the pocket of that big business. And they say, well, if you're not hooked up to the power grid, we're going to have to condemn your home. So it's a vicious cycle, right? So, being independent is about, that I'm not relying on them, that I can do my own thing and live my life the way I want to live my life. So, anyway, also remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen. So it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. If you set realistic goals that you can achieve, and then you set about to making them happen, you can accomplish anything that you want to accomplish. You make that goal happen, and then you set a new goal. You know, what did I see? They talk about New Year's resolutions. They said, and the comment was like a meme and said, don't set resolutions, set goals, and that's what it's about. Set a goal, get to it, make it happen. Once you get that one done, then you move on to the next thing. Like I will tell you this right now, moving that stone and putting it into that turn is absolutely sucked. And I'm not going to deny it. I will tell you all day long it sucked. It's been not been fun at all in any way, shape, or form. But it needs to get done. And if I did nothing, then nothing would get done. So I'm using the tools that I have available to me. I don't have a tractor. Love to have a tractor. If somebody would like to buy me a tractor, I would be more than happy to take a tractor. Trust me. I could use it for a whole lot of things, but that's not the case. So I have to do what I have to do. So, anyway, guys, I am going to jump off of here for now. Stay positive, keep going, keep prepping, keep getting ready. A lot of crazy stuff happening in the world. We just got to be smart and take care of our business. Okay? I will talk to you all later. Have a great night. Prepper Nurse One out for now.